So, proposals for constitutional amendment. Let's discuss. So, Lawyer Balfour will be joining us after the new year. We'll have a very big program on this. Okay. We're going to spend some 2 hours with him talking about that.
Proposals.
I see that the NPP in Parliament have said that they are setting up a committee to review,
yes,
all of that.
By,
but it was interesting as I looked at some of the things Dr. Prempeh said, Dr. H.K.C. Prempeh, some of the things he said. Some of the things he said, it gave me the impression that there was perhaps no political scientist on the team. Because some of the things he said, unworkable. They may be good, but you see, politics is about interest. Nobody can take that away from anyone. Politics is about interest. You can call it selfish, you can call it whatever, but it's about interest. So when you bring proposals in a constitutional amendment, and they should have been guided, I'm sure they were guided by the fact that the Mills one actually failed.
Yes. And
the Mills one had a repository of serious constitutional experts. Fiajo, who was the chair, is a major constitutional.
From West Indies.
Yes.
For that project.
Yes. He's a solid constitutional expert. There were other people on the panel, Apia Minkan, other judges,
secretary.
Atuguba was a secretary. The other time he just came from Harvard. He's big on innovative law at the time. Even that and the kind of work that was done. Now, this is Lawyer Bafwewa. He's an MP for Minsha South. Bafwewa tells me that he is excited about studying the document, and that when the document is fully studied, after the holidays, he'll come here and we'll discuss it. He tells me that he's going to be on Newsfile on Saturday. Those of you who want to get a glimpse of what he's found, you can watch him on Newsfile on Saturday and see it. But I'll be watching as well. He'll be joining us in the new year. We'll sit on the touch screen together and deal with it. So back to the question. So if politics is about interest and you are making proposals for constitutional amendment, you must consider the interest, because the same people who are going to carry the amendment for it to happen.
Oh, exactly.
Okay.
That was, so I saw a Facebook post where someone says that it would seem like many of the proposals, because are adverse to persons' interest or those of the political class, it may be difficult for them to pass sane.
Yes, let's get an understanding for our viewers. First of all, changing the constitution, there are 2 ways of doing it, isn't there?
Yes.
You can do it by a parliamentary majority, some of them, some by a 2/3 majority, and the entrenched clauses must come to a referendum.
Yes.
Now, we have to let our viewers understand that when entrenched clauses are being amended, Parliament actually has no role in it.
Yes.
Parliament's role is just that the 276 members of Parliament are part of the Electoral College that will vote on the amendment as voters. That's about it.
Yes.
People think that you have 2/3 of Parliament, so you can change this, you can change this. No. The entrenched clauses, and all the executive is entrenched, apparently.
Chapter 8, yes.
Is judiciary also entrenched?
Yes, so chapter 8 is entrenched. That's executive. And then the judiciary also is entrenched. The rationale is to prevent.
Entrenched means that they make it difficult for you to change it.
That's
absolutely.
So it means to change, you have to come to the people.
You have to come back to the people, exactly. Because as the Constitution says, we the people of Ghana,
yes.
Sovereignty relies in the people. Sovereignty lies in the people. Okay. So we have to get people to understand that. The NDC majority of 189 in Parliament is inconsequential to a constitutional amendment on entrenched clauses. That also must be made clear.
When we don't want it, we don't want it. When the people do not want it, whether they have 2/3 or 100%.
The point we are making is that the 2/3 in Parliament do not vote on constitutional amendments.
Yes.
They don't. So whether you have 2/3 or not, you can have 100% of the Parliament. If you want to amend an entrenched clause, you still have to bring it to the people. 70% of the number of registered voters must vote in that election, and 75% of those who vote must vote for the amendment before it is carried.
45 of those entitled to vote should vote, and then 75
of those who vote.
Say yes.
Of those who vote to say yes.
45% of those entitled to vote generally.
Okay, so let's look at it.
Should vote.
Are we headed there though with some of the proposals that he's? Are we headed to a referendum if we carry some of the proposals?
I mean, some of the proposals.
All the executive.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
All is going to a referendum.
Yes.
So you need 45% of 10 million people
entitled to vote. So
but that's 10 million people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that would mean we would have to go back to the Electoral Commission.
10 million.
Which will then, so assuming it's 10 million, we need 45%. And of that 45%, 75 are supposed to vote yes in favor of the said amendment before it can be carried.
So if 70 votes for the said amendment, it fails.
It's not 75, so it fails.
74.9 fails.
It fails. The rationale is that we should make it difficult. The threshold to change the constitution should be relatively higher. And so that's why the test is high. So that
it kind of comes back to Akufo-Addo's points where he tells that you don't really need to change much in the constitution, etc., etc. Yes. But there are interesting proposals that have been made by HKC Prempeh. So the other thing we need to point out before we get into his documentation is that the implementation of whatever he's doing, it can only come after the referendum, and it can only be implemented after 2028 selection.
Yes.
So those who were voted for in 2024, either as a member of parliament, a DCE, or as president, your tenure remains as it was when you were elected.
Yes.
So even though he's recommending 5 years for the president, if we carry that amendment, it will begin with the president who is sworn in 2029.
Yes.
That's when it will begin.
Yes.
It's not that John Dramani Mahama gets to 2028 and says, HKC Prempeh says I have one more year, so we go one more year. We need to get viewers to understand that.
The general principle is there's a presumption against the non-retroactivity of laws, which means that when laws are passed, it cannot be applied backwards to take effects from the past. So President Mahama was voted for a 4-year term. President Mahama will serve that 4-year term.
People may not see it as retrospective, and that's the interesting thing. It is definitely retrospective, but if you look at it with your administrative eye, President Mahama is president now. We are in 2025. Tomorrow is 2026. 2028 hasn't come.
Yes.
So why are you saying that if 2028 comes and Ghanaians have voted for a 5-year term of president, why can't he just continue?
So normally what the law does is to prevent these things, there would be a transitional clause which would say that on the basis of these provisions being carried or these provisions being implemented, the implementation will start from so and so president or so and so person, which would ordinarily not be the one who is currently occupying the office. So there would be a law which will be passed most likely to offer smooth transition, so that the term president in the amended constitution will not be taken to mean the sitting president, but the president who is to come, the next president.
Who will be elected under those rules, those provisions.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because Ghanaians voted for him for 4 years.
Okay. So whatever we are discussing has nothing to do with President Mahama in terms of his, in the current MPs. So now let's pick it up. First one, which one is the most controversial?
So the committee finds no issue with the 2-year terms. With the 2 terms that's 2-term maximum of a president. However, they have an issue with the tenure. So the committee.
No, but why didn't they find any issue with the 2 terms? Why is Dr. Prempeh saying there's no ambiguity?
Well, by virtue of the fact that they went and did some consultations, it would seem that Ghanaians are comfortable with the fact that.
Oh, when he said no ambiguity, he meant what they gathered. What they gathered.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
People are certain that we do not want a president.
I thought he meant in their minds, in the experts, the mind of the committee experts, they felt there was no ambiguity.
Because the role of the committee was to go around and gather information from people as to what we would want.
So they are reporting to us how people felt.
Exactly. So it's a report.
Nobody wants any third term issue.
Exactly.
That's the point he made.
Exactly.
Okay. So that's out.
However,
the tenor.
He's making the point that it should be extended from 4 years to 5 years. Each term of the president should be extended from 4 years to 5 years.
He argues for time to implement.
Yeah, the rationale, or what many people have argued for a while, is that the first year the president chooses to set up. The last year is elections. And so really the president has just about 2 years to effectively work. And so by doing 5 years, assuming the president still has a first year to set up, then it would mean that the
So why don't you make it 6 years?
Maybe that would also be too long, because that would mean if you have a bad president, you are stuck with a bad president for 6 years. That is a problem. It's like
but you can have a president who is bad in year 1, bad in year 2, good in year 3, good in year 4, good in year 5. You can have a president who is good in year 1, good in year 2, bad in year 3, bad in year 4.
Better safe than sorry. So
so what's the point they're making?
It's better not to risk it in that way. But I would have thought.
But 5 is still a risk.
I would have even thought that if the issue is about setting up, then why don't we divest, which is what they've done, or which they've attempted to do, divest most of the appointments powers from the president, so that once you enter office,
but they didn't talk about that. They didn't talk about the president's powers. Or I've not read all of it.
No, there are other parts of that talks about MMDAs, which is a huge headache for every president, because you have to appoint
But they're asking for the election of MMDs on non-partisan lines.
Yes, but
that one will fight with them. They have to do it on partisan lines.
But it's an election.
I think the conversation has just started, so everyone is going to have an opinion.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. We can't go to an election without knowing whether it's NDC or MPP. It's going to be hypocritical. It's going to be fake. No candidate is going to be truly independent. Because even with the district assemblies that we have today, NDC claims victory. MPP claims victory.
Some campaign with party colors. Just
no, you can't. You can't campaign with party colors.
Oh, some they do, but not the party logo.
No. You see, they make their colors look like
yes.
Yeah.
So when you see, you know that.
So NDC is red, green, black, and then you put some black and so I don't understand how, given this circumstance, as a student of political science, that anybody would say that let's go and have the election without partisan connotation, partisan colorization. But what are you talking about? But they do it in Nigeria. In Lagos, they run on party lines for mayor. What's the problem with
London?
London is old. London's been doing that forever. But they will say London, they are developed, they won't throw stones. Lagos, they will throw stones like Ghana, like Cote d'Ivoire. They run on partisan lines. South Africa, they do it. So I'm not sure why anybody thinks. They think that the situation is too polarized and Ghana is too polarized. And if we add partisan to this, I think the rationale is really lost. The rationale is that there will be local government authority representing or mimicking what is at the central government. So if at the central government you have a contest of MPP and NDC, we want that to come to the local government. For MPP and NDC to compete in Lejokuku, to compete in Ganorth, and to show us what they can do as MPP in Lejokuku, in Menchia, in Kumasi, in Takoradi, NDC, show us what they can do, etc., etc. It builds the political parties. It allows their young people to have something to do in the form of an executive situation, so that tomorrow when they become somebody, they can. So you are a bright young person, you belong to party A or party B, they have won the mayor in Takoradi. They say, okay, lawyer, come and be the counsel for the mayor in Takoradi. They are preparing you for attorney general.
But I think the fear is that if you also do that, the central government is NDC. Most of the funds flow from the central government, and so it may be a problem. If the funds are flowing from the central government to say Ablekuma Central, and Ablekuma Central is, maybe opposition control.
They will send the money.
It may be a problem. I think that's the thinking.
Let's do that on two legs. So that's a good that's a good fear. If there's anything like that, it's a genuine fear. Now, if we elect the way we are electing, I can assure you, the central government in Accra will know that Paul Adom-Otchere, who is the mayor of Ejoso, is MPP. They will know.
They will know anyway.
They will know. They will definitely know. Even today, they know. They know the assembly members, they know. So what's the point? The other thing is that the reason why money must flow from the central government, that's the critical bit. That must stop.
Yeah, it should be.
And that is why we are asking for partisan voting. So if you have elected a mayor in Lejokuku, he controls Lejokuku. He can decide that I'm charging this for taxi. I'm charging this for sanitation. I'm charging this for that. I'm charging that for that. Another mayor in East Legon may decide that I'm charging more for this and more for that because I want to do this for my people. If I don't do that, they will not elect me. So central government will reduce the power of the purse, which central government controls, will be reduced. That's what happens in Nigeria. That's what happens in London. That's what happens in New York. Didn't Donald Trump lose the New York mayorship? The Republicans lose the New York. That is the real demonstration of the crucifixion of the winner takes all. Winner takes all must die for our democracy to succeed. Without winner takes all dying, our democracy is not going anywhere. So to break the winner takes all, central government must not be the one giving money to local governments. Local governments must design how they make their own money in their locality. That is the innovation that politics brings. So right now, we don't have any innovative politics. You go to parliament, you don't have to do anything. You get your salary. Whether you debate, you don't debate. There's no way to find...
MMDs.
Yes. I'm giving an example that right now, there is no meritocracy. Yeah. If I'm elected a member of parliament, you can't tell me that I'm a bad member of parliament. There's no criteria to say I'm a bad member of parliament. Where still, there's no criteria to say there's a bad minister, a bad deputy minister. But if we introduce these mayors are running as president, that is are running as partisan, that is where we can determine that this mayor is good, this mayor is bad. It also serves as a platform to recruit people into the central government that we already know. Often, January 7th comes every 4 years. Members of parliament we don't know them.
Oh, yes, yes.
Only the few loud ones who are on Good Morning Ghana and that. We don't know the members of parliament. If you ask me, I've been a news reporter for 20-something years. The 276 members of parliament, how many I know, it will be a very small number because they just show up.
Even West MMGs.
But if, that's why we don't know them at all. But if they were running partisan elections, I would say that, the guy who ran in Kintampo and won for NDC, Charlie, the guy is very articulate. Is that his name? Oh, okay, I know him. He's now a member of parliament. Oh, that's interesting. If we don't do that to build our democracy, we are not going anywhere. So I'm really not sure why Dr. Prempeh was taken over by the romanticization of this non-partisan
thing. It's a start of a debate. So obviously, people would have discussions and things.
There are a group of people who are dead against partisan civil society people. They are dead against it. And I think that they had influenced Dr. Prempeh, and that's why we are seeing what we are seeing. Because the wedding is this Kweku Azar and all these people, the things they talk about. That's what we are seeing in the recommendations. Well, I don't know. But there's a lot to talk about it. It's out now, so we'll be dealing with it.